I would like, first of all, to welcome you all, and if I had been here in time, I might have really and warmly welcomed you in the opening session. Today is quite a challenging day for CGIL agenda because there is an important meeting of our political commission that is supposed to draft the document in preparation for the CGIL Congress. Therefore, after my few welcoming words, I will have to unwillingly leave because I need to participate in the work of the political commission. The reason for my delay is that I came from Madrid a few hours ago, back from a meeting convened by Comisiones Obreras and UGT with the Herbert Foundation in order to establish closer relationships between democratic and progressive trade unions in Europe. This partnership was established a few years ago and played a decisive role in allowing the European Confederation of Trade Unions to reach major results last week, because the Executive Committee of the European Commission and trade unions approved an extraordinary plan for economic growth, employment and youth employment in Europe, which is particularly important. The European Secretariat of CGIL welcomed this initiative very warmly and favorably. Gigliola and others have been engaged in it. We are mobilizing trade unions to assert and strengthen the rights of all workers, regardless of their status, orientation, personal, social and family situation. Because our Europe is one that also, owing to the election trends in individual countries that have an influence on the makeup of the European Parliament and the orientations of the European Commission, is one that is losing sight of its core social model, which comprised the assertion of individual rights, self-fulfillment rights, also in the European context and regardless of and without discrimination or unequal treatment in society, in employment and in one personal life. Unfortunately, our Europe is lagging behind also in terms of the civil right conquests that were made in the past, and also in terms of the protection of civil liberties for all, and also in terms of the scope of these civil liberties, which has been a goal for us for many years now, and which is becoming more and more difficult to achieve. Let me invite you to consider what is going on in Eastern European economies, where the path to political independence after the 1989 New World context. And rather than progressing in terms of new rights, we're going backward to xenophobic and totalitarian pulses, and the degree of intolerance and discrimination vis-a-vis others who are perceived as being different are becoming fiercer. Therefore, the topic that you and I are discussing today is not a secondary one. It is a key topic, and we need to mobilize our political and trade union forces, because the orientation of the European Commission that is in place is not the one that we cherish in terms of welfare rights, labor rights, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, the space that is devoted by the Barroso to trade unions, to stakeholders of different backgrounds and different countries in Europe is becoming shorter and shorter, as well as the role of collective bargaining, the role of social dialogue, and the role of social actors. We do not like this Europe. This Europe is not courageously addressing the promotion of rights, the protection of rights, the management of diversity, which can be an asset for the economic recovery of our countries. In terms of the behavior of individual member states, Europe is often reproached of not respecting the fundamental rights of human beings. Suffice it to think of the treatment of migrants, the treatment of Roma people, and the many forms of discrimination that exist in the labor market vis-a-vis groups of people that are considered or that are viewed through the lens of diversity. That's the Europe we want to change by involving trade unions, associations and organizations who have been participating in this project and will probably give a follow-up to it. We want to try and give a different way to this Europe, so that welfare, collective bargaining, inclusion, the relentless process of conquest of rights can be, again, goals that we can pursue and achieve. Thank you all for coming here to our CGIL office. Let me thank Gigliola Toniolo for her permanent engagement in the battles that we are delivering, and I hope that this day is going to be very fruitful. And let me apologize again for having to leave in a short while, because I need to take part in the work of the Political Commission. New technologies help us, because everything has been recorded, so you can then look at the recordings, and we hope that we can organize some follow-up initiatives to this project.